What do you say to someone who is happy with what they do, lives a fulfilled life, exercises, and is still depressed?
Yes, I thought a lot about this. Remind me to come back to the thing about East London.
I know this is an issue with a lot of people. I know people that worship at the altar of science and modern medicine that firmly believe that all depression is because of some sort of chemical imbalance in the brain, and anything that debates that or anything that disputes that notion it pisses them off.
When How I Met Your Mother first went on the air, I ran into an actress that I knew, and she said, "Are you just like so happy all the time?" And I remember thinking, does she really think that when CBS picked up the show, it left me with an inability to feel anything other than unbridled joy? But the joke was on me because I kind of thought it would.
I found that with depression, one of the most important things you could realize is that you're not alone. You're not the first to go through it. You're not going to be the last to go through it. And oftentimes it happens. You feel like you're alone, and you feel like it's only you, and you're in your bubble. And I wish I had someone at that time who could just pull me aside and, hey, it's going to be okay.
Snap out of it. It's all in your head. Have you tried yoga? If you've ever dealt with long-term clinical depression, these are often the kinds of responses you may have heard. When we finally mustered up the courage to tell a loved one what we're going through, we can be met with dismissive shrugs or questionable advice. It's almost as if they don't fully believe you when you discuss your symptoms. The rise of social media has led to mental health being highly prioritized in the last decade or so. From influencers pouring their hearts out online about their struggles, or to the advertisement of self-care products that claim to fix your problems. In light of this spike in popularity, we have become very aware of disorders such as major depression or generalized anxiety, so much so that we may have possibly become desensitized to it. Nowadays, it seems like everyone has some issue, a diagnosis of some disorder, and that can make people doubt the validity. The truth is, depression isn't new. It's just more spoken about now.
Like, are you okay? That's what you say, are you okay? Ask somebody. That's what they, and yeah, I'm good. Really?
When a mental health problem is viewed as trendy or a fad, it downplays the seriousness of depression. To do so is erasing history and the thousands of years of documented cases. The earliest descriptions of depression dates to around 2000 BC. At that point, the symptoms were thought to be due to a spiritual problem, the influence or possession of a demon perhaps. It wasn't until the 1600s that a more scholarly approach was taken. In 1620, an Oxford University fellow called Robert Burton published The Anatomy of Melancholy. The book's approach was revolutionary as it had a far more pragmatic approach. Burton prescribed changes to diet and exercise while also recognizing the physical and social factors that could increase the likelihood of developing depression. Major depressive disorder is a difficult beast to tame because, as Robert Burton speculated in the Middle Ages, its origins are complicated. The likelihood that someone may be depressed has social, psychological, and biological origins. These factors affect your brain chemistry in a complex way, and so must be treated in the same manner. There isn't a one-size-fits-all approach to the disorder. If you were to break your arm, you would most likely have to wear a cast or sling. You have probably had an X-ray, which can show you exactly where the bone has been broken. The pain of a broken bone is rarely ignored. People understand it partly because they can see it. The proof of your discomfort is right there, wrapped up in a sling. The problem with depression and other mental health disorders is it's not visible. There isn't a certain way a depressed person dresses or carries themselves. It is estimated that 6.7% of adults are living with depression, but you would definitely struggle to pick them out of a lineup. This chemical imbalance is sneaky and can take many forms, so the cause can vary, and how it takes its toll on the visual appearance can vary. Anything else? Unfortunately, yes. It can get even more complicated. The symptoms of major depressive disorder can also look very different on different people. Symptoms can include feelings of sadness, emptiness, or hopelessness, angry outbursts or frustration, even over minute matters, insomnia or oversleeping, loss of interest in activities that once brought you joy, feelings of shame, guilt, and self-loathing, reduced or increased appetite leading to weight loss or weight gain, unexplained physical pain such as persistent back or headaches, dark and troubled thoughts such as suicidal ideation. Not everyone with depression experienced all of these symptoms in the same intensity. They can snowball and grow if left untreated. They can also shift during different seasons of life. 1 month, a person with depression may be managing their symptoms incredibly well, but just a small inconvenience or piece of bad news can cause the house of cards to fall. This can affect not only the person suffering with the condition, but also their friends, family, and coworkers. There are so many factors when it comes to feelings of depression that unfortunately culminate in confusion for a lot of people. It's easier and simpler to try and shake off the matter. Claiming that depression simply can't be real stops them from having to wade into the murky waters of variables and internet quick fixes. There really isn't a quick fix for a mental health issue, and that's why it's a good idea to consult a medical professional if you can, instead of turning to the internet for help. If you are honest to your doctor, they can help you develop a tailored treatment plan to address your needs. This may include antidepressants, which can help to minimize some of the symptoms. Contrary to another popular myth, however, you may not need to take antidepressants for the rest of your life. The relief of symptoms due to the medication can free up time and mental energy. This can be put towards learning new coping skills or trying different types of therapeutic services until you find what's right for you. Depression certainly is real. It can just be so elusive and sneaky that it's easily dismissed. It touches the lives of millions, including the rich and famous, from Princess Diana to Abraham Lincoln. If you are worried as to whether you or someone you love is struggling, reaching out to a professional is truly the best step. It's usually also the hardest, but it will be worth it in the long run.